Let's get into this show right now because Jay Bilas, he out there bop, 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 calling out people for racial overtones and Rand Paul's NIL comments. Did you guys catch those? Well, Jay Bilas summed them up and said it's a pretty clear dog whistle. We know what that means. Let's get into it. So they had the U.S. Senate hearings on the looming merger between PGA, DP World Tour, and Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund. We all know that. And Senator Rand Paul supposed to be talking about that, but he just swerved off the road a little bit off topic, and he wanted to address the college athletes that are profiting off the NIL. So he said, many of us love watching amateur athletes that weren't paid. Now, everybody that plays basketball in college is going to be driving a Bentley or a Rolls Royce. I mean, we're going to be seeing rap stars instead of basketball stars. I mean, this is crazy. Uh-oh. You already know where that went. Soon he in the bushes. He is in the terrain right now. So Paul comparing basketball players to rappers, that got everybody's attention, and it sounded like it was racially charged. Let's be real. So Jay Bilas, one of ESPN's foremost college basketball voices, chimed in on this. He was talking to Dan Le Batard. He said, to be kind, it was racial undertones. It was overtones. God dang. I love when people do that, because you remember you used to be like, man, you understand me? And then cats used to hit you, man, do you overstand? You'd be like, what? You been watching Do the Right Thing or something? But I love that he went there. And it was a pretty clear dog whistle. That's what he said. So I didn't care for it. I'm surprised he hasn't been called out on it more to date. Just like Tommy Tuberville with the ridiculous things he said recently, which were basically are white nationalists racist, right? And at first he was like, nah. And then he got pressed enough and he finally admitted, yes. Okay, that's what that was about. So Bilas was unsure why Paul hasn't been pressed about the racially charged comments and said, who cares what the players drive? Why do you care what the players drive? And all the people who are talking about they don't like money in college sports. They didn't complain over the last 45 and 50 years when revenues have gone through the roof and coaches' salaries have gone through the roof. Strikes me as crazy that so many free market libertarians, they're saying, oh, but this one segment, no free market for you. Everybody else, we want the free market, but we don't want that for you. Interesting. So it's almost immoral. It's so ridiculous that it gets to being immoral that we want to restrict college athletes only and say, well, they get a scholarship, but look at all the non-athletes that get scholarships and they can make whatever money they want. Facts. All right, so then Mike Ryan, who's on Le Batard's show, said, yeah, majority of the college athletes that are going to benefit from the NIL are minorities. It kind of feels like know your place. We want to keep the power dynamic as is. All right, let's talk about this because we're basically asking, are Rand Paul's NIL comments racist? All right, let me say this. It's interesting. The one element that really hit home for me was the fact that non-athletes get scholarships and are able to benefit tremendously off of it. I went to Columbia, as you guys know. Who else went to Columbia? Lauryn Hill, who was the homie. I was a junior. She was a freshman. We met day one when she got on campus, and we talked throughout all the time she was there. Let me tell you what she had in terms of journey versus me. All right, I'm there. I got to play all 4 years, right? This is even before the rule of you got to be over 19. This is before you got to play 3 years. It's just you got to play, right? So I got to play at Columbia all that time. Meanwhile, Lauryn Hill could come in, go to class, disappear for forever, go film Sister Act, come back, do a Fuji album, go do Sister Act 2, come back, do another Fuji album, blow up, and never go back to school. And then probably get an honorary degree because you're so damn famous. And I remember talking to her like, dog, you could just tap out, go do what you're destined to do, your profession, while still being in college and get paid for it and no rule violation. Why me? Why can't I? Now, I don't know if I was good enough to just leave to the NFL, but the point is I wasn't allowed to leave for the NFL. So that part right there obviously hits home. And then it's another part of this that's interesting because when you talk about NIL, and now all it's trying to do is keep pace or catch up to what everyone else is doing around the big business of college sports, especially football and basketball. So who gets paid? The institutions, right? They get paid through all of the broadcasting rights. They get paid, obviously, in scheduling as well. Look, when Florida State wants to play Columbia, then guess what? Columbia gonna get paid, because right, we ain't putting our guys through that unless there's a little bit of that scratch that comes along with it. So the institutions get paid, right? And then we also know how it affects enrollment, how it affects the esteem of the university. So therefore, they get more people trying to come to their institution. It just helps everything, including the reputation. All right, so the institutions get paid. The coaches really get paid. Coaches in college, the creme de la creme, surpass the NFL coaches. They getting paid. Nick Saban, them guys, paid. All right, so coaches getting paid, institution get paid. Can the players get paid? No. Okay, can they get a little something? Here's their stipend. Shut up. They got a scholarship, it's free. And I love when they throw the scholarship argument. I was a Nike client. Now, I wasn't LeBron, I wasn't Jordan, I'm not Paul George. I didn't get paid by Nike. Bruce Smith did. I didn't get paid by Nike. But I was a Nike ambassador, Nike client. You know what that meant? I could get whatever I wanted for free from Nike. Because they ain't care. They're like, dog, we giving it to them wholesale. What's before wholesale? Like no sale. Not retail, not wholesale, just like, yeah, whatever. Here. And I could just open up the catalog, order whatever. Right? And then I could go to Nike store, get whatever. For real. I could in my heyday. Yeah. And that's just me. Yeah, imagine that meant nothing to Nike except, ooh, he's going to be an ambassador and broadcast our message. So now you looking at these players and they're like, dog, don't just give me what y'all can give me that costs nothing to you. Give me a little of the skin in the game. You're getting it, institution. You're getting it, coaches. Why can't we get it? And let me remind you, people are really here to see what we do in product, in our labor, in us playing the game. So it's a pretty obvious answer to me that the players should benefit off it. But it's also pretty obvious that Rand Paul, he doesn't like seeing players get paid, which became a little too synonymous with black players getting paid in his mind, where he went wrong. So tell me, you agree with Jay Bilas that Paul should be pressed more on these comments? Because right now, Never Shut Up sounds like we pressing them as well.